because I'm using Isaac's DJI mics, and I've never used them on my phone like this before. So, hi Tammy, hi James, Mama Bear, Debbie, Nameless, Adventures of Alan and Teresa said hello from Texas. Row family, Penny, Joe, Randy, Miss VG3, Paul, Sherman, hello everyone. Hopefully my phone doesn't die. I charged it before the chat started, but you have to plug in the mics to use it. So, and I also don't have it clipped on my shirt because every time I feel like I clip it on my shirt, it sounds a little bit muffled because it's too close to my body. So let me know if it sounds okay. So, how is everyone? I know that the weather's crazy down south. I've been seeing all kinds of videos. It's wild. And I think, I don't know what I was going to say. Also, I only have one phone. We normally have two phones so that we could read the comments with one and then do the chat like with one, and I don't have another phone. So we're just kicking it old school and we are doing it with one phone. So, Paul Honeyman, I see you. Amy, Roadkill Ron, that's a name right there. Karen, hi Jaylina, it breaks my heart. I wish I could help down there. Yeah, it's crazy. Charles GS said NFL football with the home team or leave her wild one a dilemma. Charles has been sending Ember all kinds of gifts lately, so thank you, Charles. Ember loves the temporary tattoos and everything else that you've sent her. She appreciates it. Jean said hello from southern Minnesota. Kimmy J, hello. Sarah Woods, hello from Idaho. Justin S says hey, hey. Old school works. Dorian H, Penny, Susie G, everyone's saying hello. Kathy, Celestial RV Living, Sarah Woods. Anything mind working. Her mind doesn't stop, so. Adam said, you're so pretty, sister. I miss you. Love you. I'm assuming that's my older brother. Hi, Adam. Love you too. I think my sister's watching this live chat too. So got a lot of the family here tonight. I know Ember, I think, are watching in the house. Ember has too much pent up energy to be sitting down for a live chat. And I was thinking, like, in the future, if we do live chats with Ember, I think it'd be a good idea to get her something that would keep her mind preoccupied. Like, she's very newly into like Play-Doh. And I got her some Play-Doh that was like non-toxic Play-Doh, so it was a little bit different consistency than normal Play-Doh, which it was funny because it was like peanut free, soy free, gluten free, blah blah blah. I guess in case they eat it, and it's very interesting. She already mixed all the colors together though, so she wants some more. um, so now she's got one big glob of brown Play-Doh instead of a rainbow. Jean says make homemade, it's easy. Yeah, I don't know if I have all the stuff, but yeah, we could teach her how to make her own Play-Doh, which would be cool because that's also probably non-toxic. Regular Play-Doh is non-toxic. I only bought that Play-Doh because all the other Play-Doh was locked up. So I was at Walmart and a lot of their things are like locked and you have to get someone to come let you in, and sometimes it takes forever, and I was in a hurry. So I saw that particular Play-Doh and I just grabbed it, but it was labeled all those things and it was a little bit different than normal Play-Doh, but no particular reason why I bought that Play-Doh. And then I'm sure she would love like the little magic sand and stuff. She likes watching that stuff on TV. I will not get her slime yet. I feel like she still has a few years before she can dive into the world of slime. But I know you can make that by yourself too. My niece was really into that for a while. I'm excited to share with you guys my plans for what's next after I sell the van. I'm in the van. Paul said, leave her, or sorry, Paul said, Jaylina, Have you done something different recently? You're looking so relaxed and your skin's looking so good. Thank you. I'm actually not feeling very well right now, so that's probably why I'm coming off relaxed. It's just I have no energy, and so I'm just not like, I don't know. Maybe that's why I seem relaxed. But I've been losing weight. I've been working out. I finally have been losing weight. I'm trying to de-stress my life. And I got a haircut. I got a little bit of bangs here, a little more blonde color in my hair. I got my hair done right before I went to Dallas last time, and I was really unhappy with it. The girl who normally does my hair was unavailable, and so I finally was able to get in, and so got a little bit of that going on. And then I was actually had a really bad breakout thing going on recently that is clearing up for some reason. It's hormonal. I know why it's clearing up, but it's finally going away. So that's probably why. It's just my hormones are probably going back to normal. Jean said my grandkids love the sand. I feel like it'd be super fun. I don't know if I've ever even played with that, like the sand stuff. Paul, I was going to say you're looking like an Aussie beach babe. I love the beach girl vibes, so I will take it. Thank you, Paul. James said you're very beautiful. Thank you. But yeah, I'm in the van and it's still not cleaned up from Northwest Nomads. It's still full of dirt. I haven't completely moved all of our stuff out of it. I took out all the linen so I could wash those, get those fresh on the bed. I'm going to move all of my things out of the van. I got Ember's books and toys. I still have all my shoes, and just like clean the van really good, wash the outside, and then I'm not going to use it anymore until it sells. And I did drop the price. I'm hoping that it sells fairly quickly, which I'm going to be honest. This van itself, like I said in the tour video, there's a cult following for the T1Ns because I literally saw the same van. It was not built out. It was the slightly longer one it was like almost $10,000 with almost 600,000 miles on it. So it's like these vans are not, like if you're buying this van empty, they are very, very expensive in my opinion. Like $10,000 for a van with 600,000 miles on it is a little ridiculous. I don't know that they're going to get that, but my point is this has it just hit 150,000 miles on it, and I've been doing all the work that I've put thousands of dollars in the engine, but not in the engine, but into maintenance, like regular maintenance that hadn't been done yet. And it is a Mercedes, so it's going to be more expensive. So I've considered just remodeling it, but I just don't feel like that is practical. I do think that if Ember and I, or if I was by myself, it'd be fine. But if Ember and I and both of the cats are on the road at any point full time, we're going to need something bigger. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's get back to your comments. Sarah said, I wish I looked that good, sick or not. Thank you. James said, what did you put it up? What did you put it on for sale? I'm not quite sure I understand your question. It's listed on Van Life Trader and Facebook Marketplace, and it's listed right now for $45,000, and that is my bottom dollar. So we're just gonna sit at $45,000 and hope that it sells fairly quickly. Leslie, who says, Jaylena, a visit to the hairdresser can do wonders. Love your hair. Your skin's looking flawless. I agree. I feel like getting your hair done or getting your nails, I don't get my nails done, but in general, just taking care of you makes you feel so much better in so many ways. Adam said, what if you built out a covered trailer for a second bedroom type deal? This van does have a hitch, and I can pull, I think, like 6,000 or 7,000 pounds. I don't want to have to pull a trailer. I don't want to have something that I have to get out and get into. I want to be able to, like, if I think something weird's going on outside, I can just jump in the driver's seat and go. I don't want to have to get out of my car and like get into the driver's seat. It's like the same thing it'd be like with a truck camper or anything like that, like or a pull behind trailer for that matter, just anything you'd have to pull behind. I wouldn't want to have to get out to drive. Paul said Peach would have been the perfect size for you and Ember and the cats. While I do absolutely love the Peach, I love how the second build went. I don't know that that would have been enough room for everything that I want per se. The Peach was a little the body of the Peach was not necessarily what I would like for what I want to do if I were to do a bus. Like the door was very small, the stairway when you first walk in was really really small compared to like the bus Isaac has now or the bus that his friend Jordan has that's here at the house that I think he just put up a tour on Isaac's channel of that bus. They both have really wide big openings right in front of the like as soon as you walk in, the doors are much bigger. I think if I was going to do a bus, I would want something like that. And I would even consider doing the shower right there when you walk in. So I do love the Peach. The Peach was a great size, but I don't know that it would be ideal. It's bigger than this van for sure. And it's great for, it's got a lot of room, but there are things that I want now, like having a shower and a toilet, like in a set composting toilet, not like a mobile one. So I just don't think that even the Peach would have been enough room for what I want to do if I were to do a bus in particular. Charles said Ember will want to go with mommy to be pampered at the salon soon. I don't know about soon. I give Ember I pamper Ember. We do her nails and we brush her hair. Like she loves that. She doesn't necessarily like having her hair up, but if I'm brushing my hair, she'll want me to brush her hair. She pretends to do makeup. She just has my makeup brush and she'll just kind of copy what I'm doing. And then we do her fingernails. So she's always had pink fingernail polish, and recently she was like, I want blue and I want green. So I'm going to have to get her we're going to have to expand her color palette for her nails. Tiny Bubble said, when you are on the road traveling, is doctor and dentist appointments difficult to get to? I think that when it comes to like doctor's appointments in general, whatever kind of doctor's appointment that may be, I feel like it's important to have a home base. Like for me, I feel like Oregon will probably always be a home base, forever. As long as Isaac's here, this will be a home base. And then if he moves or goes anywhere else, that will always be one of our home bases. And then Texas and Nashville are also home bases for me just because I have family there. So I think it's important wherever you have health insurance, you just have a home base there, whether it's somewhere like you could park at your friend's house or a family member's house, or you have like a spot that you can go to, maybe, of like an RV park or a state park, somewhere where you can camp if you needed to like lay low for a little bit and park somewhere while you're figuring out doctor's visits and stuff like that. So I would say like just always have a home base and, work around that versus trying to go to the doctor in different states around the country, because that can be really difficult. Leslie Hughes says box truck. I would consider a box truck if it had the right front end, like the right engine. I have yet to see one the size I would want because I wouldn't want anything too big. But I feel like if I was going to do a box truck at that point, why not just do a bus? I feel like buses just have more character, which you can add character to a box truck too, but you're going to have to, I guess with a bus, you already have all the windows. So if anything, you're going to take windows out versus a box truck. You would have to put windows in, and windows can get really expensive, especially if you want like good quality double pane windows. So I've considered it. I've definitely thought about it, but I don't know if that's the route that I'm going to go in. I'm going to be honest. There's two there's two options that I am for sure, like, if one doesn't work out, I'm going to go with the other right now. A box truck is not one of them. Alex said, hey, where's Samantha? She is, I think, just at home or working. I know that she's, she updates her Instagram like every day. So if you're ever wondering where Samantha is, just go watch her Instagram stories. Charles says, stronger frame in a bus too. Yeah, that is a big argument in the schoolie world, is like why people choose schoolies. And a lot of people say because they're built stronger. It's a big metal box, so there's the safety of that too. Melissa said, did you and Isaac regret getting rid of the big bus? No, I don't regret getting rid of the big bus at all. First of all, it wouldn't have mattered getting rid of the big bus because Isaac and I are not a couple anymore, so we're probably never gonna live in the same, aside from the house, we'll never live in like a rig together. And that was Isaac's bus, that was never my bus. So we lived in it together as a family, but that was always Isaac's bus. And even if we still had it now, it would still be his bus, so I would still be, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do as far as something else goes. And also at the time when we sold that, when he sold it, it was just the right choice. He bought this house and he couldn't have done that if he hadn't sold the big bus. So like there were reasons why it worked out the way it did. And I don't regret that decision. And I don't think he does either. At the time we didn't know what our future was going to look like. Ember had bad motion sickness. At the time she was too young for us to give her any type of medicine for motion sickness. Her pediatrician told us like you could give her Benadryl if you have to, if you're going to go on like, a flight or something like that, but like he wouldn't recommend doing it all the time. And that wasn't something we couldn't be moving around all the time because she would get so violently sick. And if you are close to us and you've traveled with us and Ember before she was old enough to take the right medicine and we found the right medicine for her, you would feel so bad with her getting as sick as she would get when we would drive. So it got to the point where Ember was home all the time and we would switch out going to the store or running errands. And so the big bus just didn't make sense at that time. So, and then with what our lives look like now, I don't think that Isaac wants to travel in the way that I do. I think that he is, we both changed and we both grew a lot over the last couple of years. And especially as we are navigating like co-parenting and navigating who we are individually and what our dreams are and our goals are moving forward, I think that Isaac going back to music has made him really realize that he doesn't want to travel like full time on the road as a van lifer. I think if he does travel, it will be for his music and he'll probably always have a house or something like that. I mean, I don't know, that could change, but I think that's just like where he's at right now. And I don't want to necessarily speak for him because maybe he has other thoughts about all of that too. But I think that, just right now, that's maybe where he's leaning. And then I do want to travel full time. I do want to settle down eventually. I would like to homestead again one day. But right now, I think that I want to just travel. I think that it would be great to do that now while Ember's still young before we decide whether or not we're going to put her in public school or we're going to homeschool her. But if we are going to put her in public school, then right now is the best time to travel. So that is also why whatever I do next, I want it to happen sooner than later because I don't want to spend a year or even 6 months building out a whole nother rig if I'm going to build something from scratch. So that's why I'm like, I'm going to drop the price on the van. I want it to sell fast. So I don't know I kind of went on a tangent there, I guess. Oh, did we regret selling the big bus? No, I would say no. Roadkill Ron said, I pull a trailer, but it's for my motorcycle and toys, not to stay in. And see, that makes sense too. Like if you're not staying in it, because then you're still not, unless you like keep that stuff out of your trailer when you're camping, you don't have to worry about just jumping up and going and being able to drive in the middle of the night if you are feeling not safe. James said, you're both the best YouTubers I've ever seen. I've learned a lot building my own bus. I have learned so much from Isaac when it comes to building rigs. It's very different than building houses. The electrical's different, the structures are different, and I feel like Isaac himself has also learned a lot in the last few years. Like his first build is vastly different from his last build, and mine too. But I have learned so much from Isaac and his building videos. Although I was there for a lot of them, most of them. Melissa said, Isaac definitely needs to keep moving forward with his music. He has zero plans of stopping, and he performed at Northwest Nomads, and that was really, really cool to see. And so I think that now that that's over and he doesn't have to commit so much time to practicing for that, he's already diving into like a new song and new stuff. So Jaylena, I recently saw a super beautiful bus build in a short posted by Mobile Dwellings channel. I will have to look that up. I don't think I've ever heard of Mobile Dwellings. Charles, I already know, like if I did a bus, I think I know what layout I would do, but the bus is not my number one. I will say that. Charles said the music will take up a big chunk of his time pie. Haha. Well, and then Ember also really, really loves music. So him doing music is something that they could do together. It's something that we can all do together. And also I just want to see what she's interested in and like do everything that I can to allow her to blossom in those areas of her life, and music is one of them. So for her to be able to learn stuff from her dad, more so from him than me, because I don't like know how to play any instruments anymore. I played percussion and when I was in school, so like I used to play the xylophone and stuff, but that was years ago. I'd have to reteach myself, which I'm not opposed to. Dickinson said, your daughter is definitely so cute and smart. She is definitely different and unique. I think she's going to change the world. You know what? In my totally biased opinion, I agree. I feel like Ember's very, very smart, and I think she's gonna change the world one day. Melissa Meltzon said, I'm 60 and want to travel, but my mom can't. My life is on hold. I'm sorry to hear that. I understand that, though. Like, you know, life doesn't always work out the way that we would like it to. That's the way life goes. I mean, I think we can all relate to that. Shelly said hello from East Texas, praying for all the ones that were involved in the last hurricane. Yeah, I am seeing all kinds of stuff online and it is crazy. Karen said go for a Class C RV. Are the Class C ones like the big ones? The thing is like we need more room, bigger than the van, but I don't want to go too big. I could drive the big bus that we had. I could. I don't want to. I don't want anything that is that big. Charles said, well, if the trumpet don't work out, get her a tuba. Yeah, Ember knows. If you haven't seen, I think Isaac posted on Instagram of Ember playing the trumpet, and it was so cute. Asaya said, I loved seeing Ember blow that little trumpet. She has the music in her. SC said, you sing, don't you? I do. The most I've said, well, I don't want to say that. I guess I like to sing. I'll sing if given the opportunity. I will always do karaoke for sure. Um, Charles said she will be the first tuba player to lead a band. Sherry said, what is the number one thing you are looking at to travel in? I will get into that in 5 minutes. Amber said, just got here. Miss VG3 said, Ember is magic. I agree. Melissa said, my aunt is in Newport, Tennessee, major flooding. Yeah, it's crazy. Stephanie said, is there an update on your book? So I do have an update on my book, and I will probably post another update about it, but it was supposed to come out October 1st, and my bad, I did not submit the final version of it, so it's going to come out on October 6th instead so that it can be properly approved by Amazon. But also, I decided not to do an ebook version. It will only be one paperback version for $9.99, and that is because it was taking so long to tweak it and get it right for the ebook version, and every time I would preview it, it would look all crazy, and I just didn't want to risk it coming out like that because it was just all jumbled together, and I just didn't quite understand what was happening. So what it came down to is, sorry, I'm gonna point you guys down a little bit so I can move. What it came down to was the easiest thing for me to do was just do the one version paperback and make it a decent price so that it's, anyone can get it. That being said, the bundles I am getting together this week. I can't send them out until the book is actually published. Then I can go in, make those orders so that I can get those. I can write in those and send those out. So all that will be happening within the next 2 weeks or so. And then I will let everyone know once the book is actually officially published. So if you didn't do a bundle, you can just order it on Amazon. James said, I got a question. When I get a bus or rig, what side do I need to get when it is just me and what size do I need to get if it's just me and my son? That is completely personal preference. Someone could want a 40-foot bus with just themselves, or for a big, huge family. Someone could want a 4-window bus for just themselves, or, I have seen families of 5 and 6 in 170 Sprinter vans. Like, you can make it work. It's how much space do you want? What do you want to drive? Like, it is completely personal preference. So I couldn't say one way or the other. Like, there's a specific size you need for however many people. Melissa said Ember definitely will be a musician. I feel like she's already a musician in the making for sure. Amber said if you get a Class C, stay within 24 feet. This will provide you more camping options. Monica said, I'm from Australia and I was wondering, what do you think of the best van to convert into a motorhome? The best van? The thing about the vans are the Sprinter vans are great. Everyone likes the Sprinter van, but they're really, really expensive because they're Mercedes parts. And then the ProMasters are great because the space, they're wider and they're more square. But the engines, I know so many people who have problems with their ProMasters breaking down for one reason or the other. And so then there's the Ford Transits, the high top, or, I guess it depends on how tall you are, whatever you need. Those are so tall. They're wide. They're a little more square. And I haven't heard of any issues with those. So I guess I would say the Ford Transit, but they're going to be a little bit more pricey. So just pricey to get into one, cheaper to probably maintain versus like a Sprinter van, like a Mercedes. Scooter said, I watched some of your very first lives. You've grown so much. I've been doing YouTube for a very long time. Stephanie said, have you thought about doing a step truck like the old UPS trucks? I personally don't love those bodies. I've seen some really nice ones, some really cool ones, but I personally wouldn't do one. And I'm a little bit traumatized of older vehicles. So I'm really particular on that. Isaac's friend Jordan is a really good. He seems like he's like good with engines and stuff, so he know like I can ask him questions and he can kind of walk me through why this is like why this engine's good, why this engine's bad, like so he's kind of opened my eyes a little bit to certain things, but I'm still a little bit traumatized from older engines. Amber said buses are built better, probably more reliable than an RV. RVs are poorly built. The thing with RVs, specifically like newer-ish ones, is that they're just built quickly. And yeah, like you could get one that was built by someone who really didn't care. And I'm not saying that always happens, but you never know. Versus like doing a bus, you built it yourself and the body is not, it's a little stronger. So it depends. Miss VG3 said a Class C can be smaller or larger, usually a sleeping space over the cab. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Asaya said, oh, are we talking campers and RVs? That's an exciting option. I am. Kimmy J said, Amazon self-publishing has a whole learning curve. I opted to not do an ebook, not until the time research tips. Yeah, exactly. I'm in the same boat, Kimmy. Melissa said, any tips, any type of travel trailer or motorhome are not designed to live in full time. That's why I wouldn't buy one, because I'd gut it and build it for a living. Yeah, that's a thing too. You know, it's like, and then at that point, if you're going to gut it, should you just do a bus, you know? Paul said, question, can the seat come out of your van if not wanted by the new owners? This seat, yeah. This is just on tracks and you can completely take it out. This seat was actually in Bussy when Ember and I drove to Texas in Minion. When Ember and I drove to Texas in Minion, this is the seat that was in that bus. So yeah, it can be taken out. And it clips right out, and then if you wanted it out for good, it's just bolted in and you could just patch those holes if you're going to build like something else over it. Patricia Marshall, did you get my emails about PayPal? I did. I haven't gotten a chance to respond. I'm doing that this week. I just have to find the time to sit down and get all of that together. I am getting the packages together and the emails and stuff. So I will get back to you. Anyone who's not actually purchased one yet, but has emailed me, I am getting back to those this week. So hold tight. I promise I will get back to you, Patricia. I did see, I think it was today I saw that, or yesterday, but I put it up in my folder so I wouldn't forget it. Let's see. Mary said, have you heard from Dawn of Van Life? If so, how is she? I know she was getting out of van life. I did talk to her fairly recently, and she seems to be doing really good. Once we're on the road, I'm definitely going to be visiting with her. And if she's okay with it, I'll probably share that with you guys. If not, then I'll talk about it. But yeah, she is doing great. And she's actually a lot closer than I thought she was. So I can't wait to visit. Wanda said, okay, I'm here. You can start now. Hi, everyone. Wild Bunny Lee said, Ember will be the next Olivia Rodrigo. Ember is going to be the first Ember Wild. And it's going to be great to watch. Tim G said, hi, is the family all right in Tennessee from the bad weather? They are in Nashville, and my mom has not at all once called me or texted me about it. So I'm assuming, yeah, they're fine. Wanda said, Ember's growing up so fast. She is. It's going by so fast. Lolly said, sorry, Laura Lee 5 said, oh, sorry, I missed your live. I'm just getting here now. I will start from the beginning. We need more singing videos. Okay, so now that I'm caught up, I will talk to you guys about my options that have been heavily weighing on me. So, hold on. Leslie said it was great to see Chrissy again recently. I saw her at Northwest Nomads, and it was so great to see her. I wish I could have spent more time with her, but it was just hard to spend any time with anyone outside of just hanging out with Ember, which was really nice. We had some other friends there who had their kids there that we haven't seen in a while, and Ember just had the best time of her life, and so that was what really mattered to us, was her being able to get out and experience that, and she absolutely loved it, and every single day she says, "When can we go camping? I want to go camping again." So we definitely will. So I have had so thinking about size, right? This van, I even really heavily considered remodeling the van and just keeping the van. I, for so long, wanted the seat in the middle and the front for Ember. They're so expensive. I found one on Facebook Market for like $150 or something. And I was like, maybe I could do this. But honestly, really and truly, I don't want to have to ruin all of the work I put into it. It would be far more expensive to remodel this van versus selling it and doing something else. And I would just really, especially after Northwest Nomads. So that was a huge thing too, is while I was trying to decide and while I was still like, I could remodel the van, spending a whole week in here with Ember. Ember slept with me the whole time because we didn't want her to get, Isaac was in Jordan's bus and we didn't want her to get his bus dirty because he's selling it. And we were using the fridge in his bus as well as my fridge is in here. And so every time I would walk into that bus, it would just be like, wow, the difference in the space of like Ember and I hanging out, spending a lot of time in the van, which we do at home, but it's different because we can just go in the house. So living out there for a week and walking into that van or that bus and feeling like the difference in space, especially with a child, it just made me realize that I don't think I want to just remodel the van. As much as I love it, if we're talking full time, I definitely want something bigger. So that being said, I am considering doing a bus. The only reason I don't want to do a bus is because they are so much work. Like it's gonna be blood, sweat, and tears and building it as fast as I can in the dead of winter if I do another bus. And I'm willing to do that if my other option does not work out. So that being said, you can let me know what your thoughts are before I get to what I actually want to do, but I'm not quite sure is going to work out for me. So let's see. Miriam said, we are fine in the Nashville and surrounding areas. Kevin said, what's your dream holiday? I think you mean like vacation. Samantha and I are going to live out our dream holidays. Hopefully sometime in the near future, we're going to go to Ireland and Australia, and it's going to be great, but we got to make some money first. But I do want, me and Samantha are making plans to travel a bit more overseas in the future. And I would do that probably when Isaac has Ember, and then when Ember is old enough, I definitely want to take her with me. Oh, thank you, Laurely 5. I appreciate that. Miss VG3 said it was a blast watching her with all the other kiddos. It was great. She had the best time of her life. Paul said the best singing video ever was the Bus Breakers La Fala Jelina's birthday party. Yeah, that was crazy. Midnight Eagle said, how long have you been living in a van? I don't live in a van currently. I used to. But van life has been a part of my life for the past 4 years now, but I don't currently live in a van. But I will be back to full-time van life next year. Wanda said, I remember the day she was born. It was 5 weeks after my grandson was born. He's growing up so quickly. That's crazy. I feel like so many babies were born around that time, or just that year in general. Julie said, more space is always better. Teresa said, what would you do different to the van? If I was going to redo the van, what I was thinking I wanted to do different was put a seat in the front, because legally you could have a car seat in the middle. So Ember could be right up there next to me. I would take out this seat and maybe do a bench here. I'd need a closet and a shower area. So it would be vastly different. So I would have to change so much, which I just built it. So I feel like I'd be wasting a lot of money. Melissa said, I'd do a van. Wanda said, why not use the bus you guys have? That's Isaac's bus. That's not my bus. Charles said, just imagine building one in 30 days or less. I would literally try. Sandollar said, buy Isaac's friend's bus. You know what? I love that bus. It has super low miles. It's beautiful. It's not exactly how I would want the layout to be. And also there's no place for Ember to sit. And it's very expensive. It's twice as much as what I'm selling the van for, and I don't have that type of money. So, but I am very happy for whoever decides to buy that bus because it is gorgeous. Ember and I were just hanging out in there today. She loves it. Anna Marie said you should definitely do the one you really want. Paul said get an RV. Kevin said an old ambulance. Sandy said come see me in Tassie if you come to Australia. Box truck. Ember loves camping. Tasmania, that'd be cool. Transit bus. Okay. So the other thing that I was or am considering is an old school Chinook RV. I love them, but they have to have like the Chinook windows. I found them where they just have regular RV windows. It's got to be the Chinook, like, you know, I don't know if you know what those are, but they can be so beautiful. I've seen them. They're kind of rare, and I don't know a lot of people that have them, but I've seen them be like remodeled, and they're so gorgeous. It's a lot of space, and I found one in particular that has a 7.3 Power Stroke in it with low miles, and I want it. And if I sell the van, that is the first call I'm gonna make. But that's not to say that Chinook is already sold, or that the guy even responds. I have actually reached out to a couple people about their Chinooks, just having questions, and it's not working out. So I only have a handful of Chinooks that I found that I would consider, but it's so important for me to have an engine that I can rely on with low enough miles. And so it's been a challenge. But the one that has a 7.3 is the one that I would like. That's my number one. But if it doesn't work out, then I would probably do a bus. So that's kind of where I'm at. And it's all going to be determined by how fast this van sells and if those Chinooks are even available by that time. And then I have found a few different buses I would consider. Buses are far more easier to find versus the Chinook RV. And the Chinooks that I like are about 21 to 22 feet, so they're not too long. But yeah, I would get an old school Chinook, and I would completely remodel it. I'd paint the outside, and I already know exactly how I would do it. I know the color scheme, everything. And I love the idea of doing that, but I'm not going to like set my heart on it because I don't know if it's going to happen. And I don't have the time to wait around for the right one. So it's like I see the right one that's available right now, but when the time comes, if it's not available, I'm going to take that as a sign and keep moving forward. So just that's where I'm at. So it's either that Chinook or a schoolie. The thing I do love though about school buses is they have personality, and you can like make them so much more true to who you are as a person, and like they have so much character, which you could, I could do that with remodeling a Chinook too, but with a bus you have like custom layout and everything. With Chinook it is what it is. You can just make it prettier because a lot of them are really outdated. So let's look at these comments. Can you put a pop top area for extra bed space in your van? That would be so the thing is I don't have too much of a budget to do any like crazy upgrades on the van. That's why it's like if I remodeled the van, it would be so expensive that it would just make more sense for me to just start over. A limo style shuttle bus. That sounds very long. Make money, sell in the van, move on. Whatever's meant for you will find you. Chinooks are hard to come by. Chinooks are hard to come by. That's why I'm like, I found the one. And if the one is not available, then it's probably going to be a bus. So Sharon said Jordan's bus might be a good choice. I think Jordan's selling that bus for like $80,000 or somewhere around, give or take. So like, yeah, it is. It is a great choice. Just it's not in my budget. Celestial RV's Living said the last Chinook I saw was so cool on the inside. It was beautiful wood, like in a custom. Yeah, I would totally like redo the cabinetry and the countertops. And the only thing I'd probably super redo is the bathroom. I would change it out to a composting toilet, probably an Ogo, and like make the shower stall a little bigger if I could. I don't know, but we'll see if it ever comes to that. Paul said I win. Julie said, I love the peach color from before and the creams and whites, but it's your home, you do. I love the peach colors too. I think my taste has changed slightly, but I will always love orange tones and hues. And I think that's why I love like the cedar tongue and groove so much, is because it's got like that orange touch to it. And I'm super into that. Chinooks are really cool vans, nice size. 7.3 Power Stroke motor is the best. Yeah, and I found one. It had fairly low miles, and it was like super good condition. The guy's a mechanic, and it's very well maintained. So I'd be surprised if it's still available. I'd be surprised if he hasn't sold it yet and just doesn't really do Facebook and it's just still up. So we'll see. Charles said, oh my gosh, I was going to suggest a Chinook, but I thought you would poo poo it. My first conversation was an original Toyota Chinook. I mean, I like those ones, but they're usually manuals, and I'd prefer an automatic, and also they're not that big. But I love them, just not for full time with a child and 2 cats. Leslie, they're great looking vehicles. For the conversations I've had with people, a lot of people don't even know what they are, and they'll have to look them up. So if you know what they are, then you must like them too, because I feel like when you see them and you like it, it stands out to you. Amber said those Chinooks look like Class B plus, which is between a van high top and a Class C RV. Wanda said, is your van a standard length? My van lengthwise, I think, is only like 18 feet. So it's like no different than driving like a truck. It feels exactly the same driving this van as it does driving Isaac's truck, which they might be the same length. Cruiser Chris said, this is Cruiser Chris. Would you and Isaac still be together even though you are not living in the house? I missed the top of the show. Isaac and I are just co-parenting. We are not together like as a couple. We're just friends. We've been just co-parenting since December of last year, and we're still very close. And just time changes, things change, and people, we got to move on. We got to figure out what our lives are going to look like. What are the things that we want out of life and stuff. And, I know that Isaac has his own personal goals in life. I have my own personal goals in life. And that has brought us to, I guess you could say, kind of like a fork in the road, where it's like we don't have to change everything right this second, but sooner or later is probably better. And we're just figuring out what our lives are going to look like going into next year. And then Isaac's going to figure out whether or not he's going to keep this house, and like what he wants to wants to do as far as the house goes and stuff, and like what he's going to do with his bus, if he's going to go on tour while he looks for a house. I don't know what his life is going to look like, and I don't necessarily know what my life is going to look like, but we're just co-parenting. So, and we'll always be a part of each other's lives. Obviously, this will always be a home base for me, and Ember's always going to be around her dad. So, Kathy said, we used to own an old Chinook and I loved it because it was fiberglass, not metal. We sold it. I'd love to have one as clean as we had. I loved it. I love those Chinooks. Thank you, Alex. Leslie Hughes said kitty cats have some changes coming. The cats did great with van life, I think, and they like to hang out in the van and stuff, and they used to hang out in the buses all the time. They don't necessarily love driving, but I know that if I have them in a space where they could be covered up, they're fine, and they just sleep the whole time. It's when they're out and they have the freedom to roam that they don't like driving. But the cats are great. They've done van life with me for a while, and they have been very good about not having a particularly steady home. But even when we're out traveling, like I let them outside at like friends' houses and stuff, and they do really great with staying around the van and not going too far. Saya said, I'm going to do a deep dive into the images of Chinook. So fun. Yeah, they can be so pretty. I promise you, if you look at them with their original interior, they're very outdated, but I've seen some really beautiful remodels of Chinooks that I kind of fell in love with, and I was like, I could totally do that. Another thing too is with the Chinooks is that it wouldn't take as long to get into a Chinook and be able to just move in and, be on the road if I want, versus having to completely redo a bus. Like Isaac's been working on this bus for a while now, and it's just such a long game that doing a Chinook and just remodeling an RV, so much less work, so much less time. So it depends on like what I wind up with. That's why I'm like leaning towards the Chinook, because it would just get done faster, but still be something that I could make my own and something that I love and that I think is really cool. Jim said, my dad owned a Toyota Chinook and drove it from Texas to Nebraska. My sister and I had to fly up to Nebraska to drive his Chinook back to El Paso. We began asking who wanted to get out and push it up the hill. Sandy said, what year would you want in the model in the Chinook? The one that I have found is a 1996, but it's a 1996 7.3 Power Stroke Chinook. So I don't know if all of the 1996 bodies look the same, but they all generally look very similar. Paula said Shane Dennis has a good size bus, not too big or small. I agree. I love Shane's bus. It's beautiful. And I don't remember exactly how big it is, but I would prefer to do a 5-window, the same size as Isaac's bus that he has, versus doing a 4-window. But it just depends on what's available, because there is a 4-window that I would consider and look at right this second if I had the money. Leslie said Dave from Dave's RV Life found a beauty on his travels last year and was besotted. Forgive me, I don't know what besotted means. Is that a word? And if so, can you use it in a sentence? No, I'm just kidding. Could you tell me what that means? Wanda said popping in and out while I watch Monday Night Football. Is Monday Night Football a thing? Should I not do these live chats? Should I do them earlier? Because usually when I do live chats on Mondays, it would have been like 5 o'clock Texas time. And so that would put me at 3 o'clock here time if I was to do them like I used to. But I don't know that I've done live chats during football season in many years. So let me know if that's a game changer for you guys. And if you're watching this after the fact because you were watching football, please let me know. Besotted means totally in love with. Okay, Jaylena learned a new word today. Thank you. Joe said, one of my granddaughters always mix them too. Mix them. Mix what? I'm confused. Valerie said, Ember is so smart and social now. Public school will take... I'm waiting. Do lives when it works for you and Ember. Yeah. In the future, when I just am alone with Ember and I decide I'm going to do live chat, I think it's going to help a lot to have her have an activity like the Play-Doh or something to play with. And then we could do that together with you guys. If you wanted to get some Play-Doh too, you could join in. So Valerie said, Ember is so smart and social now. Public school will take that away. I don't necessarily know that it would. I personally didn't necessarily thrive in public school. I'm a very shy person. My teachers are the ones that really helped me get out of my shell, and I was more like friendlier, I guess. Like I felt more comfortable around like my teachers. Like my 3rd grade teacher, I'll never forget, was phenomenal. She was an amazing teacher, and I'm still like Facebook friends with her today, and she's an amazing person. Her name was Miss Mungle. I loved her. And so like I was just so shy. It was hard for me to make friends in school. But Ember is not shy. She is definitely her father's child, and she has never met a stranger. So, and if she has, she's probably not getting good vibes. So, I don't think she'd have a problem in public school. I think she would thrive. It's just, I don't necessarily love the idea of public school, but that's just me personally. And we'll see how things turn out, how they happen. Maybe she'll want to go to school and she'll love the idea of going to school, Paul said football or Jaylina. I hate sports. Love Jaylina. Ember and Isaac, no choice. Kevin, hi Jaylina. How are you and Ember doing? Ember is doing great. I think I heard her outside earlier, but I think she's inside. It's finally starting to like cool down up here, and the weather's getting colder. And I'm realizing how many sweaters I own now versus like any other time in my life. Growing up in Texas, you don't have a lot of, like, you have sweaters, but they're a lot cuter because you don't need much to stay warm. And now I just got like big, bulky, like keep me warm sweaters. Wanda said, is there a certain Chinook you are looking for? I see there are 4 styles. So there's one that I like that has, if you look over the counter, the counter's a bit smaller and the side has like an open shelving concept. The one I'm looking at has not the open shelf, it has like a little pull down there, and then it's got the couch and the dining table that turns into a bed. Because some of them have the 2 long couches on each side. The one I'm looking at has the couch and the dinette set table thing. Tammy said, can we do Cash App for the bundle for the book? Yes, you can Cash App for the book bundle. My Cash App, I think, is just Jaylina Dunn. Don't quote me on that, though. So if you wanted to do that, send me an email, and I will tell you my Cash App if you want to go through Cash App. Leslie said, Jaylina, changes for Halo and BB from Wild Mountain I met. I have watched their changes all these years on YouTube, and your vehicles, they've always been awesome. Yeah. They like it here. BB is getting like comfortable. She got like this toward the end of our time at the shop that we lived at before the house, where she would kind of get closer to the road, and now she's doing it here, and she literally, there's no fence. She just walks right up next to the road, and it makes me so nervous, and I don't like it. So I don't know what to do about that, but it has been stressing me out. Deanna said, I love Play-Doh. You have to worry about what you're teaching in public schools. That's true. And I mean, there's a lot of books that are banned that like shouldn't be banned and stuff. So Alex said, you learn nothing till high school anyway, and then not much. I feel like there's so many things that they should teach you in public school that or in school in general, and they don't. Like stuff you need to know, like, the responsibility when it comes to your credit card or your credit score, like paying taxes, like stuff that they don't teach you. And no offense to my mom, but she didn't teach me either. But a lot of times, like, my mom never had to pay taxes. I think I'm the first person in my family that I know of who actually pays taxes and doesn't get a like tax return. So I never learned how to pay taxes until I had to myself. So I had to teach myself. Private school is also an option. I went to private school most of my life, and I don't think it was very different from public school, honestly, besides the fact that I had to wear a uniform. Penny said, I think Jordan's is 60K. I don't know about that. I think it's 70 or 80. And it's worth it. It's got like 40,000 miles on it. 40 something. Trish said, I have always loved the Chinook. I've always wanted one since I was very young. When I seen one on the road, I get excited. I think they're so cool, and not a lot of people know about them. Irma said, what else? I don't have PayPal anymore. If you can't do PayPal, I have Cash App and Venmo as well. We've been on for an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and get caught up on these comments, y'all. So if you have any questions, let me know now. I said, I got to go. My team is playing. I forgot. You forgot? Is it really your team then? I'm just kidding. Teresa said, what would be considered low mileage for the 96 Chinook? So the thing is, it's not about the 96 Chinook. It's about the 96 7.3 Power Stroke, and it only had 119,000 miles on it, which isn't super, it's not Jordan's bus low, but it's pretty low for the Power Stroke. Those are also known as million-mile motors, but they'll go to like 300,000 or 400,000 easy. And so like to have one at closer to 100,000 miles is like pretty good. Paul said, sorry, I couldn't find your Cash App link. I use Cash App, but only like with certain people. Same thing with Venmo. And so like I don't use it a lot. I mostly use PayPal. So that's why you probably can't find it because I don't really ever use it. That's why I'm like, I don't want to say like what I think. I think it's just Jalena done on both of them. But just to be sure, I would like to just like leave an actual link. I'll probably try to if I don't remember to leave a link in the description of this live chat, I will be doing an update for the book itself and stuff, and then I'll leave all that information in the description for you. I wish I could do a 3-hour Samantha live chat because those are great, but I have to cook dinner, and I kind of want to. I sent Isaac this reel on Instagram of because we typically eat dinner together as a family every night. And Ashley and Jordan are here too, so we all eat together, and we have like leftover dinner from yesterday, and I don't really want that. I don't feel good, and I want this like it was a bread bowl with spaghetti in it, and it was baked in the oven, and it looked so good, and that's what I'd prefer to get. But if I do that, I gotta go to the store, so I don't have time to stay on much longer. Nancy Fry said, your sister over here with 2 more tax payments for the year. Okay, so my sister and I are the only ones who have probably ever paid taxes in my family. I didn't know if she paid. I did think of you. I just didn't know for sure. But yeah, and I'm sure she had to teach herself as well because I don't think my mom has ever paid taxes. She's probably always just gotten a tax return. Valerie said, how much are you selling your van for? The van is listed for $45,000, 150,000 miles on the million-mile Sprinter T1N motor. Extra seat here. It drives 4 with seat belts. You could sleep 4 in here tightly. Wouldn't recommend it though. But there's a full tour of the van with the link to the for sale ad on my channel. I think it was a couple videos ago. Juju said, you seem so refreshed and recharged from going camping. Hopefully y'all can go again soon. I hope so too. I hope that Samantha comes and builds out her van here so that we can take more camping trips with her and I and Ember. So after this live chat, go bug her on her channel and tell her she needs to come finish her van in Oregon. So I think I'm caught up. Can't wait to scour the internet for Chinook. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I love you all, and I will see you guys on the next live chat. I want to start doing live chats once a week again. I really like doing these. But, you know, life. As of right now, I don't really have a lot going on until the van sells. And so I'm not really quite sure what to film. So let me know what you guys would like to see from me. I'm on a health journey if you're interested in that. I have lost at least 10 to 11 pounds since I came back from Texas. I could do day in the life stuff, book stuff, maybe Maybe I don't know. I don't know. Even if you come up with a crazy idea of something that you'd like me to film that I don't normally film while we are in this kind of limbo season of the channel, I've also considered rebranding. Am I Leave Her Wild anymore? Or should I just be Jaylina? Should I be something else? I'm still a fairly small channel. It's like still a good time to rebrand if I'm gonna do it. Um, I don't know. Would you like a video where I talk to you about why I'm not necessarily feeling super connected to Leave Her Wild anymore? I don't know. Um, I am going to start posting though on Motherhood is Wild. That channel is not monetized yet, so if you'd like to help a girl out and go watch the videos that are on there and help me get monetized, I'm going to be posting regularly on Motherhood is Wild, and that is going to be mainly about my journey in going into a new season of my life as a mom who is on the road with her daughter, and kind of motherhood through the eyes of nature and like us traveling all the time and stuff like that and going camping, and basically like motherhood in a different, like a non-conventional way. So from wild to mild. That was a good one, Charles. I actually like that a lot. So you guys leave your suggestions. And I will see you guys sometime, hopefully sometime this week again. But go check out Motherhood is Wild. Paul, if you could put a link, that'd be awesome. And then I do have some true crime stuff too that I need to get to that I already have ready. I just need to film and edit. But those take so long to film and edit. It's a lot of time. So maybe I'll just do those once every other week or once a month for now until I can find some more time to invest into the true crime stuff. But yeah, love you. See you next time. Bye.